Next on Newsmax Prime, he's the spiritual leader of the world's 1.2 billion Roman Catholics. But in his address to Congress, did the Pope become a political partisan? We'll talk about it. And no talking to Fox. Donald Trump insists that's again the case. But will it help him make the case that he should be our next president? Our political panel offers different points of view. And if you have a different point of view from the leftists who run California, prepare for a public shaming, especially if you financially back conservative causes. We'll explain as for the next hour, we've got your back, because Newsmax Prime starts right now. Good evening and welcome to Newsmax Prime. I'm J.D. Hayworth. Of prime interest tonight, preaching the gospel or playing politics. Pope Francis addressed a joint session of Congress this morning, and the Washington Examiner described his speech with this headline: Pope Francis delivers big for Dems on war, climate, and immigration. While the pontiff touched on social issues such as traditional marriage and the right to life, he did so only toward the end of his remarks and then in muted fashion.
Fundamental relations are being called into question, as is the very basis of marriage and the family. I can only reiterate the importance and, above all, the richness and the beauty of family life.
I'm pleased to be joined on the anchor desk by Miranda Kahn, and for more on this story, we in turn are joined via telephone from Capitol Hill by Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson, who was on hand for the Pope's historic address before Congress earlier today. Of course, Ron is a member of the Senate Committee on Foreign Relations, as well as chairman of the Senate Committee on Homeland Security and Government Affairs. Ron, as always, we thank you for your time here on Newsmax Prime.
Hello, guys. How you doing?
Doing great, thanks. And just got to get your reaction. Did you get a partisan sense from the pontiff's remarks earlier today?
Yeah, I really didn't. You know, I really, it was a historic occasion, and I looked at the speech as pretty inspiring. And what I was concentrating on were the areas of agreement. And I liked the construct of the speech, you know, talking about Lincoln defending of liberty and Martin Luther King, talking about the dreams and an aspirational society. You know, and the fact that we need to respect our differences and our convictions of conscience. So, yeah, certainly how I try to conduct myself, JV, is let's concentrate on the areas of agreement that you know, reunite us as opposed to exploit our differences. So I really thought, you know, the Pope was very soft-spoken and very gentle in his demeanor. And again, I just want to concentrate on those shared goals and shared purposes, because that's how we can actually accomplish something moving forward in this nation.
Another topic that the Pope covered was religious extremism. Let's take a listen and get your reaction.
We know that no religion is immune from forms of individual delusion or ideological extremism. This means that we must be especially attentive to every type of fundamentalism, whether religious or of any other kind.
Obviously, the Pope there was reacting to ISIS without mentioning them by name. We know the Islamic State has had the Pope in their sights, putting out warnings as recently as the day before his trip. What is your reaction, Senator, to what he said?
Well, obviously, Islamic terror is a reality. It's a reality we have to face and we have to confront. It's evil. Obviously, Christianity is a religion of love and peace, and you know, I'm Christian myself, and we need to certainly emphasize that it is through those types of thoughts and those types of efforts, and that's really what's going to unite this world. But we have to recognize reality, and I think that's what the Pope was talking about, and we need to avoid all forms of extremism.
Ron, was there anything that happened in the chamber or in the moments surrounding the pontiff's address, either before or after, that surprised you somewhat?
No, not really. I think a lot of us really, you know, would have preferred not having people, you know, stand up like a State of the Union address. probably had more standing ovations than I would have liked, even though there are plenty of things I think were worth standing on our feet. But I wanted to just have give the pontiff his chance to speak his words so that we could all listen to him, we could hear them without interruptions. So I was a little surprised to how many people did stand up, how often we stood up. But again, there were so many things that were worth standing up and applauding, so I didn't have a real problem. But I really was kind of expecting us to take it more of as a church service as opposed to State of the Union dress.
Do you see anything coming about after his visit?
Well, again, I hope we all concentrate on what we agree on. I get accused of being for polluters. Nothing could be further from the truth. I mean, do you know anybody who doesn't want a clean environment? So again, people exploit divisions as opposed to concentrate on the shared goals of we all want a clean environment. We all want to lift up people out of poverty. Now, there's certainly disagreements in terms of how you achieve a clean environment. I would say you need a strong economy to not only make sure you have a clean environment, you can afford pollution controls, but also so you lift everybody up out of poverty. And there's in the history of mankind, there's never been a better economic system than free market capitalism for lifting people out of poverty. So, if we concentrate on the shared purposes and goals, don't question the other side's motives, and just work together in good faith to incrementally improve our environment as well as our economic conditions that helps everybody.
Senator, we can tell right there you're taking diplomatic and polite exception to the pontiff in that shared goal. We do appreciate that. And Ron, as always, we certainly appreciate your time here on Newsmax Prime.
Have a great day.